Hello, welcome back. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, and today we are on Sunday stitching. So, since you were here, I've completed my circle with all my random pieces and the gold thread, and I've got to be honest and say I absolutely love it. It's turned out as I wanted it to. So, what I'm going to, and I have pinned it all together, so I'm just going to unpin it so that I can work on it some more. Now I did have these black like daisies from that fabric that I showed you, and I was going to put these on, but I decided no, there's too much, well not too much, there's enough black in there already. I love the gold thread for the stitching, that makes me happy, and I thought, you know what, now I believe is the time. So just release all of that from our circle. Now is the time to bring in some more of the pink and dress it up with the pink. Now I was originally going to do feather stitch, where you just meander down the leaves, but I'm thinking now maybe not. So first things first, let's find some thread. Now, I've got quite a lot of pinks. Let's lay that up there so we can see what we're doing. I've got this one, which is quite a strong pink, but it is actually the same as almost one of those dots. So that would work quite nicely. But then I feel like I also need a pale one, which matches the flower. Oh, that doesn't match though, does it? That's interesting. The flower in the duvet, does it match one of the other spots? Sort of, yes. So I think those two pinks probably would work. And then we're going to need a green, because I've decided I'm probably going to do some Jennifer Causton style flowers. So greeny green. I really want like an olive green, but I haven't got much olive left. I need to shop for that kind of colour. What have I got here? Oh look, there's a nice dark green. We'll use that one. So there you go, we've got two pinks and a green. Put that up there and hopefully you can see. So you need a pair of scissors, that always helps. And we need a needle. That's the black where I was doing my book on Friday. So I'm going to start with the green, and I'm going to do some stalks. Now, because it's a circle and the flowers are nature inspired, I really want to have an odd number. So I'm thinking potentially 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think probably 5. We'll see what happens. We'll let the stitching decide, shall we? So, how are you all? How are you getting on with your vessels? I'm seeing lots of different ideas coming up and about on YouTube. So, I'm going to start and spring everything from this circle. So I'm going to start there, as good a place as any to start, and I'm going to do quite big stitches. Jennifer's always telling us don't make your stitches too small, and I'm going to do back stitch. So I want it quite long, so about there, and then we'll get a lovely pink flower on that black and white. So that's worked out quite well, even though Not necessarily planned. Oh, I got a knot. Oh, and the window's open and it's quite a warm day, so there are people outside, so you may hear some noise coming in from the street. So I'm going to back stitch to there, and I think that's potentially going to be the last one of my stalk, but I'm going to come down here and just do some smaller stitches to mimic some leaves. The only trouble when you work with torn edges, you do have lots of excuse me, cottons around. There we go, that's that one. So we've got a little green leaf on our plant there, and then I'm gonna skip all the way round to about there. Try and get all my stalks done in one. Now that's going to the left, so let's get this one going a bit to the right, just to make it a little bit different. I notice that Jennifer usually stitches in a hoop. I don't know that that's for me, so probably make my life easier, to be honest, but it is what it is. Right, so now we've got a little bit of a droopy head. I quite like that, so I'm going to put my leaf on the other side. And of course Jennifer does always stitch on white so that you can really see the stitches, so potentially this stitching will be lost, but I think once the flowers are on there, so 1, 2, 3 will go there, and this one is going to go a little bit straighter. That's not very straight, is it, Claire? You should know by now that I'm not good at straight. Oops. I've got a baggy bit there. Why have we got a baggy bit? Let's address that now, shall we? Put it through from there first. There we go. Oops. Helps if you stitch with the end of the needle, Claire, rather than the eye. Make this one just a little bit taller than that one, so the flower can sort of go there. And then come back down to that stitch there. I got, yeah, I thought I had a bit of a knot going on here. What's occurred? There we go. You can see it's not particularly pretty on the back, but hey ho. So then this leaf will come to about there, and that one will be slightly longer, so I'll angle it across and then down. So that's 3. Get 4 in about there, a little bit closer maybe there, and then we get 5 in there. So yeah, that'll work. Okay. I want to go this way now. I want to go to the right. So yeah, it would definitely be easier, obviously, to see on a white background, but we're going to get there. Oh, that is a giant stitch, Claire. And then back down to there. Whoops. And then small one, taller one, and back in. Okay. And then my fifth one will come here. And again, doing the back stitch for the stalk. And then a leaf here. So we'll do a little one there and then up on the angle to get a bigger one next to it. And whilst obviously ones like this that are on the white show so much more than that one or that one or even that one, you can see that there. So then I'm just gonna tie this off and we can start to do some pink flowers. Now I did see recently Jennifer did some lovely spiky flowers. I don't know if that was a demonstration from her new book or something that's in one of her older books, maybe even the Foolproof Flowers that I've got. I don't know, but she did some nice spiky ones and that's what I'm going to do. Lots of inspiration from Jennifer. Whoops. Oh, for goodness me. Threading the needle's not really happening, is it? There we go. So, I'll get a knot. Now, here's a stalk. We'll start here. So, I'm going to come up there. And I'm going to go there. And across. And down. And across, trying to keep them roughly the same length. Whoops. Oh dear, yet another knot. So I think the answer of threading the needle before you cut it stops it knotting is just a fallacy. It's not true. Or maybe it works on certain threads and not others. I don't know. But it doesn't seem to be working for me. So I've got 4 there. And I think because everything else is in 5s, we're going to do a 5th. So then I'll just come to about there, I think. Whoops. See, this is why I keep getting knots, Claire. Okay, so I've got 5 there. Get rid of that paler pink. And then where's my next stalk? Here. So we go this side. So travelling all the way across to here, trying to do them all in one hit. So bearing in mind it's nature and they're all slightly different, even the same flower. So not worried to try and get them too uniformed. Just the same length is what I'm concentrating on here. 2, 3, 4. There's my 5th one. In there. And now I'm going to have to tie it off because my next head is quite a long way away. So make sure I've not come through the other side. Double little wrap and trim that. And then we get a new knot. And we'll find our next stalk, which is round here on this dark grey. I haven't checked that I'm in view. I'm probably stitching way off screen. If I am, I do apologise. I suppose I ought to check now, didn't I really? No, I think you're alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's that one. Jump over here to this one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you can see the pink flowers definitely. And then over to here. 1, 2, 3. That one's too tall. 4. And 5. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is our 5th one. So tie that off. Double wrap. This chap is much more for me than it is for you. Now I'm going to swap from the dark pink to the light pink, and I'm going to fluff those flowers up. So, because they look a bit sort of sad and not very, you know, fluffy and at the moment. Oh goodness me. So might be coffee time. What do you think? Okay, trim that off. Right, so start here And what I'm going to do now is go back to the top of the stalk, and we're going to fluff these right out. So I'm going to go taller in the middle of those two, like that. Taller in the middle of those two, and back. And taller in the middle of these two, and then that one, and then a down one, and another down one. And now they look a lot fluffier than they did. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So coming in here, might do two in this one because it's nature and they're all slightly different. Oops. Still got a bit of green glitter on it from last week. Oh dear. There you go. Oops. Ow, stab my finger. There we go. So we've got these like, I feel like this one now needs more in it. So I'm going to come back in and add some more because I can. I much prefer the look of that one, you see. That's the thing. And with these fantasy type flowers, obviously you can do whatever you want to do. I mean, you want to keep them semi-real in as much as it does look like a flower, but it can be recognised as a flower. That's lovely, love it. Okay, where's my next one? Over here. So I think we're going to start all the way out there for this one, and then we're going to come there, and there, and there. Just loosen that off a bit. I feel like I pulled that one too tight. See, and yet oddly, that one on the black I like with just the same amount. So I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to have to tie off my thread because it's a long jump round. Oops. Okay. So this is the next one here. So there to there to there to there. That's that one. And then over here to this one. Make sure I'm not putting my circle closed, because I don't want to do that, do I? Okay, and down there, up there, down there, up there. Don't stitch through the black, Claire, you don't want that. Okay. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you know what I'm thinking? I could probably get 6 and 7 in there, couldn't I? So I'm gonna close this off and I'm gonna get some more stems in. It's funny how sometimes you need to actually do it before you can see what needs to be done, if that makes sense. So 1, 2, 3, definitely could put one there, 4, 5, 6, and then one there, 7, and then I think I'll do my feather stitch through. So actually I could do that later, couldn't I? So let me find now a different green that I can do some viney feather stitch winding through it all. What greens have I got? Is that even a different green? Looks like the same one. 394. Oh no, 244. It's different. Okay. So we'll pull that out and we'll do our green feather stitch. It is one of my most favourite stitches anyway, and then who knows, perhaps I'll end up doing some more flowers or some French knots on my feather stitch or something. We'll see where we go, but I'm glad that I put the pinks in. I think it's lightened it up a little bit. And I feel like the last prompt, the box, which I loved doing and I'm pleased with the result of, didn't have hardly any stitching on it at all, because it was all about, for me anyway, it was all about making the box. Oh look, double knot. Okay, we'll stop there, start there. So in case you don't know the feather stitch, basically I'm going to come across on the same line and then I'm going to go down at an angle. I'm sure you do. You won't have come this far through Roxy's Journal of Stitchery without having done some feather stitch, I'm sure. And now we follow that line to either the right or the left, and we come down on an angle again. and we're just feeding our way down like a vine. I call it a vine. I mean, it's not really a vine, is it? And then over to the other side, just for some interest, making sure that you always stitch over that thread that's there. And again on that line, see, I'm holding that thread down, coming over the top of it, and then releasing it at the last minute. And then I'm going to swap to the other side. And when I do it, I always try and do different amounts, because like I've done 3 going that way, 2 going that way, and sometimes I'll only do 1. So then go back that way. Anyway, sorry, what I was saying was, yeah, the box for me was about making the box. It wasn't so much about the stitching. So although I did a little bit of stitching for decoration, see, and that's what you get. I've mainly ended up just making a box that was covered in fabric. Oops. I flicked that thread the wrong side. Did you see? It's because I'm talking. And I try and vary my sizes as well, because I think that is a sign of nature and can add further interest. So some I'll do small and narrow, some I'll do wide and short, you know, because those berry bushes, or whatever it is you want to call them, they all have different length. I suppose they're branches, aren't they? Arms, whatever. Okay, and now I'm going to go back across here. So yes, I felt like this project needed to have quite a lot of stitching to it, just to sort of even up the fact that there wasn't. You see, now I've almost reached this flower, so now I want to come back over a little bit away from it, not too far, but back over, and then back over again, and then if I go one more over, when I go back the other way, I'm gonna be on that stem, and that was what I wanted to do. So it's joined up now with that flower. So then straight through the other side, like so. And I'm going to have to finish it off, because you need to start at the top when you do this. Okay. So then I'm going to go round, I don't know, what's that, about 2 inches probably. And I'm just going to start again. I don't know why, perhaps it's because I'm right-handed, but I always tend to do the first couple to the right. It's interesting actually, I wonder if left people tend to start on the left. I presume they do, because I feel the natural thing is to work sort of towards you. Anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? There's no right or wrong way, I don't believe. See, I've only done 1s there, 3 and then a 1 and a 1. Just whatever you feel like. And this is a great stitch for in front of the TV, because you really don't need to think about what you're doing. Now I'm going off to that side for quite a few, then we'll come back. Okay, and then back again. Over to the right. I mean, I don't do it completely randomly because I know that I want to meet up with one of these two down here. So I've got to be careful what side I'm on as I get lower. But that's just because I want them to join up. If you were just doing it completely random, then you wouldn't have to worry about it at all. See, and then I go to that side and down. And if I do one more that side, whoops, got a bit of a knot going on there. And then that side and down. Just get my tail shorter. That side and down, and then I'm just going to leave a straight bottom and clip into there. So now I've got a double vine all from the bottom of that flower. Yeah, so again I'm going to finish this one off, and it's going to get pretty repetitive from here on in. So I think I'll probably turn the camera off, carry on stitching, then perhaps I'll bring you back at the end so you can see where I've got to. So I'll put you on pause, I'll do some more stitching, and I'll come back to you when there's something more interesting to look at. See you in a second. Okay, so I'm going to stop there because I've run out of thread yet again. So as you can see, I've put in the 3 flowers on that side and I've got 2 this side. When I see you next, I will have added at least 1 here and 1 here. Here I've got the double vine that meets the bottom of that flower. Here I've got a double one just at the top and a single one at the bottom. This one is only single, and this one I've got half of a single. I think I'm gonna join up from there and come down. So there you go, that's where we are now. When I come back next week, I'll have all of that done, and then we'll look at some berries or maybe some bigger flowers. I'm not sure yet. So there you go. As always, a huge thank you for you spending time with me today. I hope you found some joy and inspiration. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.